Assalamu alaikum, dear brothers and sisters. Welcome back to our channel, Islamic Insights. Today, we're diving into a truly fascinating topic that holds deep spiritual significance in Islam: the 7 layers of the heavens. Have you ever gazed up at the night sky, filled with stars, and wondered what lies beyond? Well, today, we're going to take a journey through each layer, exploring its mysteries, its inhabitants, and the incredible lessons it holds for us as Muslims. From the first heaven, adorned with stars and watched over by the angels, to the majestic 7th heaven where Prophet Ibrahim resides, this journey through the heavens is one that will leave you in awe of Allah's magnificent creation. So, sit back, relax, and let your heart open to the wonders of the universe as we embark on this spiritual journey together. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're ready to explore these divine realms. The first heaven, known as the worldly sky, is a realm that sits closest to our earthly existence, yet it stretches beyond what our eyes can fully comprehend. Islamic tradition describes this heaven as a vast, expansive space filled with countless stars, celestial wonders, and a sense of divine order. The Quran refers to it as a place beautifully adorned with stars, which serve both as decorations and as guards against the jinn who attempt to eavesdrop on the higher realms. And we have certainly beautified the nearest heaven with stars, and have made them what is thrown at the devils, and have prepared for them the punishment of the blaze. Surah Al-Mulk 5. The stars not only add to the splendor of this realm, but also signify a protective barrier, ensuring that only those meant to pass beyond may do so. When the Prophet Muhammad undertook the miraculous journey of Isra and Miraj, his arrival at the first heaven marked the beginning of a spiritual ascent that would reveal the vastness of Allah's creation and the intricate connections between the heavens and the earth. Accompanied by the angel Gabriel, the Prophet approached the gates of the first heaven. These gates were guarded by vigilant angels, whose duty was to maintain the sanctity of the heavenly realms. Gabriel requested permission for the Prophet to enter, and when granted, they crossed into this awe-inspiring domain. This process of seeking permission at each heavenly gate underscores the orderliness of the divine system and the honor accorded to each of these realms. In the first heaven, the Prophet Muhammad encountered Prophet Adam, the father of humanity. The presence of Adam here is deeply symbolic, representing the beginning of human life and the spiritual journey that every soul must undertake. When the Prophet entered, Adam greeted him warmly, recognizing him as the final messenger in the long line of prophets. The meeting between the two holds a special significance, as it symbolizes the connection between the inception of humanity and its ultimate guidance through the final prophethood of Muhammad. Adam, who had experienced both the glory of paradise and the trials of earthly life, stood as a reminder of the dual nature of human existence, the potential for both virtue and error. In this encounter, the Prophet saw that Adam had souls on either side of him. On his right were the souls of those destined for paradise, while on his left were those destined for hell. When Adam looked to his right, he smiled with joy at the fate of the righteous. But when he glanced to his left, he wept, grieved by the destiny of those who had gone astray. This vision provides a poignant insight into the reality of human choice and the consequences of one's actions. The first heaven, therefore, serves as a place where the duality of human nature, its capacity for both good and evil, is acknowledged. It is a reminder that the journey of every soul is marked by decisions that lead it closer to or further away from Allah. The first heaven is not just a realm of spiritual encounters. It is also described as a place filled with stars that adorn the sky and guide travelers at night. The Quran speaks of these stars as a form of divine artistry. Indeed, we have adorned the nearest heaven with an adornment of stars. Surah As-Safat 6. This adornment is not merely for aesthetic purposes. It also serves a functional role in the grand design of creation. Stars are used by humans to navigate, to mark the passage of time, and to explore the wonders of the cosmos. In this way, the first heaven is intimately connected to the earthly realm, acting as both a canopy of beauty and a source of guidance. The angels in the first heaven are engaged in tasks that reflect the interaction between the celestial and earthly worlds. They are responsible for recording the deeds of humans, observing their actions, and assessing the sincerity of their worship. The prophet witnessed these angels in their roles, embodying the order and discipline of the divine system. The first heaven is a realm where the divine order is evident, where everything operates according to the commands of Allah, illustrating his power and control over all creation. The angels serve as a reminder that every action, every word, and even every intention is known and accounted for in the divine ledger. This heaven is also where the barrier between the visible world and the unseen starts to blur. It is the realm where the earthly realm and the divine cosmos first intersect, suggesting that there is more to existence than what can be perceived with the human senses. When believers look up at the night sky, they are gazing upon the outermost layer of the heavens, a creation that reflects Allah's might and creativity. The stars and celestial bodies are signs for those who reflect, as mentioned in the Quran. And it is He who created the night and the day, and the sun and the moon. All heavenly bodies swim along, each in its orbit. Surah Al-Anbiya 33. This verse emphasizes the order and harmony that characterize the first heaven, where everything moves according to the divine plan. In the first heaven, the prophet also witnessed the souls of various righteous individuals and martyrs, indicating that it is a place of initial gathering for those who have lived lives of piety and sacrifice. The souls here await the events of the Day of Judgment, a time when all of creation will be gathered and held accountable for their deeds. The sight of these souls serves as both a comfort and a warning, reminding those who reflect upon it that the journey of life is fleeting and that every action carries weight in the hereafter. It reinforces the Islamic teaching that this world is a preparation for the next, where each soul will see the fruits of its efforts. The stars in the first heaven also play a significant role in protecting the boundaries of the heavens. The Quran describes how the stars act as missiles against the devils who attempt to listen in on the higher assemblies. Indeed, we have adorned the nearest heaven with lamps and have made them missiles for the devils and have prepared for them the punishment of the blaze. Surah Al-Mulk 5. This protective function of the stars illustrates the notion that the first heaven is a guarded realm, one that is meticulously maintained by the divine command. It emphasizes the separation between the seen and unseen worlds and the vigilance with which Allah preserves His creation. The vastness of the first heaven also serves as a reminder of human limitations. No matter how advanced human knowledge becomes, the full scope of the heavens remains beyond our grasp. This limitation is a call to humility, urging believers to recognize that their understanding of the universe is but a fraction of the reality created by Allah. The Quran often calls upon people to reflect on the creation of the heavens and the earth, to use it as a means of recognizing the greatness of the Creator. Do they not look at the sky above them, how we have built it and adorned it without any flaw? Surah Kaf 6. The first heaven, with its expanse and beauty, is a testament to the perfection of Allah's creation, encouraging reflection and awe. In essence, the first heaven represents the beginning of the cosmic journey, a realm that is both close to the earthly life and yet infinitely vast. It is a place where the realities of human existence, the potential for righteousness, and the consequences of choices are brought into focus. The presence of Adam and the stars in this heaven reminds believers of their origins and their ultimate destination. It calls upon every soul to gaze up at the sky and recognize that it is not just a collection of celestial bodies, but a sign of Allah's mercy, power, and artistry. The Prophet's encounter with the first heaven marked the start of his ascent through the layers of the divine cosmos, a journey that would reveal the profound truths of existence. The first heaven is a realm where the earthly and the heavenly meet, where the beauty of the stars serves as a reflection of the divine order, and the presence of Adam signifies the potential for both greatness and humility within the human soul. It is a place that invites reflection, urging believers to seek guidance from the one who created it and to live lives of sincerity, knowing that their actions are witnessed by the angels of this vast, illuminated sky. The second heaven is a place of beauty and significance within the Islamic tradition, representing a new layer of divine creation and celestial order. When the Prophet Muhammad ascended into this realm during his miraculous journey of Isra and Miraj, he experienced a profound sense of awe at its splendor. The second heaven is often described as being made of glistening white marble or iron, radiating purity and strength. As the Prophet approached its gates, accompanied by the angel Gabriel, the doors opened to reveal a vast expanse filled with light, wisdom, and the echoes of prayers and supplications. This realm, like all the heavens, was guarded by angels who were vigilant in their tasks, executing the divine commands with utmost devotion. The significance of the second heaven becomes even more apparent through the encounters the Prophet had within it. During his journey, he met two great prophets, Isa, Jesus, and Yahya, John. Their presence in this celestial realm carries deep meaning, for they were not just ordinary men. They were messengers chosen by Allah to guide their people and uphold the truth. When the Prophet Muhammad entered this realm, Isa and Yahya greeted him with a sense of warmth and respect, recognizing his unique status as the final messenger. This encounter serves as a beautiful reminder of the brotherhood and unity among all prophets, each of whom played a distinct yet interconnected role in conveying Allah's guidance to humanity. Isa, known for his miracles and deep compassion, stands as a symbol of divine mercy and wisdom in the second heaven. His life was marked by miraculous events, such as his birth without a father and his ability to heal the sick, and even bring the dead back to life with Allah's permission. The Quran refers to these miracles in Surah Al-Ma'idah. I have come to you with a sign from your Lord. I will create for you out of clay the likeness of a bird, then I will breathe into it, and it will be a bird by Allah's permission. I will heal the blind and the leper, and bring the dead to life by Allah's permission. Surah Al-Ma'idah 110. Isa's presence in the second heaven serves as a reminder of these divine gifts, illustrating the extraordinary power of Allah that can manifest in his chosen prophets. His life was a testament to the boundless possibilities of faith and the miraculous outcomes that arise from pure devotion and reliance on Allah. Yahya, known for his ascetic lifestyle and unwavering commitment to truth, exemplifies a life lived in complete submission to Allah's will. From a young age, he was blessed with wisdom and deep understanding, as mentioned in the Quran. And we gave him judgment while yet a boy. Surah Maryam 12. His dedication to truth and justice often put him at odds with the rulers of his time. Yet he remained steadfast, embodying the virtues of patience and courage in the face of adversity. Yahya's presence in the second heaven highlights the importance of sincerity and humility. He lived a life of simplicity, rejecting the material distractions of the world and focusing solely on his relationship with Allah. His role in this celestial layer serves as an inspiration for those who seek to purify their hearts and lead lives centered around faith and truth. As the Prophet Muhammad met these two noble figures, he witnessed the profound bond that exists between the messengers of Allah. Isa and Yahya greeted the Prophet with words of peace and respect, acknowledging the continuation of their mission through his prophethood. This interaction illustrates the seamless flow of divine guidance throughout history, from the earliest prophets to the final messenger. The Quran speaks to this continuity, stating, "Indeed, this religion of yours is one religion, and I am your Lord, so worship me." Surah Al-Anbiya 92. The presence of Isa and Yahya in the second heaven reinforces this concept, showing that despite the different eras and communities they were sent to, the essence of their message remained the same: to worship the one true God and live a life of righteousness. The second heaven is not just a realm of prophets. It is also filled with angels who have specific duties related to the deeds of human beings. In this layer, the angels are particularly concerned with evaluating actions performed with sincerity and pure intention. The second heaven is a place where the inner reality of deeds is revealed, far beyond the outward appearance of actions. In Islam, the purity of one's intention is crucial. As the Prophet Muhammad said, "Verily, deeds are judged by intentions, and every person will get what they intended." Sahih Bukhari. The angels of the second heaven assess the deeds that ascend to this realm, ensuring they were performed for the sake of Allah alone and not for worldly recognition or pride. This focus on sincerity serves as a powerful reminder to believers about the true nature of worship and service to Allah. In a world where actions are often performed for public praise or personal gain, the second heaven stands as a realm of spiritual purification where only deeds of genuine devotion are accepted. The angels record these deeds with meticulous care, reflecting the divine justice that permeates every level of creation. This divine system teaches that no act, however small, goes unnoticed if it is performed with a heart free of hypocrisy and insincerity. The second heaven also resonates with a sense of tranquility and harmony. It is said to be filled with the praises of the angels, who constantly glorify Allah and reflect His light. The atmosphere in this realm is serene, a stark contrast to the turmoil and distractions of the earthly world. As the prophet moved through this heaven, he would have sensed the profound peace that emanates from the presence of the angels and the righteous prophets. It is a realm where the values of compassion, truthfulness, and humility are upheld in their purest forms. Isa's presence in the second heaven carries additional significance in the broader narrative of Islamic eschatology. According to Islamic teachings, Isa did not die, but was raised up to the heavens by Allah, as mentioned in the Quran. But Allah raised him up to Himself, and Allah is exalted in might, wise. Surah An-Nisa 158. His return to earth is prophesied to occur in the end times, when He will restore justice and defeat falsehood. His presence in the second heaven is thus a reminder of the cyclical nature of time in the divine scheme, where past, present, and future are interconnected in ways that surpass human understanding. Yahya's inclusion in the second heaven further emphasizes the virtues of steadfastness and integrity. His life serves as a model for those who strive to embody truth and righteousness in their daily lives. In the Quran, Yahya is described as honorable, chaste, and a prophet from among the righteous. Surah Al-Imran 39. His presence in this heavenly realm encourages believers to pursue a life of inner purity, free from the distractions of materialism and superficiality. Yahya's example is particularly poignant in today's world, where sincerity and truth are often overshadowed by the pursuit of status and worldly success. The Prophet Muhammad's experience in the second heaven offered him, and by extension, all of humanity, a glimpse into the divine order of the universe. It revealed the importance of inner states over outward appearances and taught that true worship is grounded in humility and sincerity. As he continued his journey through this realm, he carried with him the lessons of Isa and Yahya, two prophets who embodied the virtues of compassion, truth, and unshakable faith. Their presence in the second heaven serves as a reminder to all believers of the values they should aspire to: sincerity in their worship, purity in their hearts, and a steadfast commitment to the truth. The second heaven, in its vastness and light, stands as a testament to the infinite mercy and wisdom of Allah. It is a realm where the essence of deeds is weighed, where the prophets stand as examples of the highest moral and spiritual ideals, and where angels uphold the divine order. It calls on every believer to look inward, to strive for purity and sincerity in their actions, and to seek the light of divine guidance in every aspect of their lives. The third heaven is a place of great significance and beauty, filled with spiritual lessons and mysteries that resonate deeply within the Islamic tradition. When the Prophet Muhammad ascended into this realm during his night journey, Isra and Miraj, he was introduced to new dimensions of divine wisdom and glory. This heaven is often described as being made of bronze or brass, materials that gleam with a richness that suggests strength, endurance, and resilience. The Prophet, accompanied by the angel Gabriel, approached the gates of the third heaven, where he was met by its guardian angels. Upon entering, the atmosphere was different from the previous heavens, carrying a sense of profound calmness and timeless beauty, as though the very essence of the realm was suffused with the light of divine order. Within the third heaven, the Prophet Muhammad encountered the Prophet Yusuf, Joseph. His presence here is of immense significance. Yusuf is known for his extraordinary beauty, patience, and unshakable faith. His story, filled with trials, betrayal, and ultimate vindication, is recounted in the Quran, particularly in Surah Yusuf. His life was a journey marked by tests that would break most people, yet he remained steadfast, relying on Allah's guidance in every circumstance. The Quran describes Yusuf's beauty in a scene where the women of Egypt, upon seeing him, exclaimed in amazement. When they saw him, they greatly admired him, so much that they cut their hands and said, "Good God, this cannot be a human being. This must be a noble angel." Surah Yusuf 31. This admiration was not merely for his physical appearance, but also for the nobility and purity of his character, which shone through in every aspect of his being. In the third heaven, the Prophet's encounter with Yusuf served as a profound reminder of the qualities that Allah values in his servants. Yusuf's journey from the depths of a well, where he was cast by his jealous brothers, to the heights of power in Egypt, where he became a ruler, illustrates the divine principle that true beauty lies in the heart and character. Yusuf endured betrayal, false accusations, and imprisonment, yet he never wavered in his trust in Allah. This steadfastness is a key lesson of the third heaven, that beauty, both physical and spiritual, is a reflection of one's inner connection to the Creator. The third heaven itself is filled with wonders and inhabited by angels who have specific duties that align with the values represented by Yusuf. These angels oversee the deeds related to patience, endurance, and the inner strength required to overcome life's trials. They record the struggles of those who maintain their faith amidst difficulties, ensuring that every hardship faced with patience is accounted for and rewarded. In the Quran, Allah says, "Indeed, the patient will be given their reward without measure." Surah Az-Zumar 10. This verse reflects the essence of what the third heaven represents, a realm where the virtues of patience, perseverance, and faith are celebrated. As the Prophet moved through this heaven, he would have sensed the harmony that pervades this realm. It is a place where the struggles of life are seen in a new light, not as mere hardships but as opportunities for growth, purification, and a deeper connection with Allah. The story of Yusuf, set against the backdrop of betrayal, separation, and eventual reconciliation, teaches that every trial has a purpose. In Surah Yusuf, Allah states, "And thus, we established Joseph in the land to settle wherever he willed. We touch with our mercy whom we will, and we do not allow to be lost the reward of those who do good." Surah Yusuf 56. This statement reinforces the idea that the path to success and spiritual beauty is through perseverance in doing good, regardless of circumstances. The angels of the third heaven carry with them the light of this understanding. They not only document the deeds of humans, but also embody the qualities of resilience, mercy, and justice. Here, the Prophet would have witnessed the divine balance in action, how every act of patience, every moment of suffering borne with dignity, and every instance of resisting temptation are valued and rewarded. The third heaven serves as a reminder that in the grand scheme of Allah's creation, nothing is wasted. Every experience contributes to the soul's refinement and growth. Yusuf's presence in this heaven also reminds believers of the power of forgiveness. Despite the wrongs committed against him, Yusuf forgave his brothers when they came to him in their time of need. His ability to let go of resentment and embrace his family with compassion is a lesson that resonates with the very fabric of the third heaven. The Quran captures this powerful moment in Surah Yusuf. He said, "There is no blame upon you today. Allah will forgive you, and He is the most merciful of the merciful." Surah Yusuf 92. This forgiveness, coming from someone who had endured so much, demonstrates that true strength lies not in holding on to anger, but in extending mercy. The third heaven embodies this quality, serving as a realm where forgiveness is recognized as one of the highest forms of beauty and nobility. The third heaven also emphasizes the importance of purity in one's intentions and actions. Yusuf was tested with the temptations of power, wealth, and desire, yet he remained pure at heart, choosing the path of righteousness even when it meant personal sacrifice. His refusal to succumb to the advances of the wife of the Egyptian ruler is a testament to his inner strength and fear of Allah. In the Quran, he says, "My Lord, prison is more to my liking than that to which they invite me." Surah Yusuf 33. This declaration reflects the purity of his faith, illustrating that true freedom lies in submission to Allah's will, not in yielding to worldly desires. In the third heaven, this lesson is amplified. The angels here take account of the intentions behind every action, ensuring that deeds performed for the sake of Allah are preserved and elevated. The purity of Yusuf's heart is a shining example for all believers, teaching that what truly matters is not the situation one finds themselves in, but how they choose to respond. His life story encourages believers to prioritize inner beauty and integrity over external appearances and material success. As the Prophet Muhammad continued his journey through the third heaven, he would have been reminded of the transient nature of worldly power and the eternal value of a pure heart. The splendor of this heaven, with its shimmering expanse of bronze or brass, mirrors the resilience and steadfastness of those who seek Allah's pleasure above all else. It stands as a realm where the struggles of the righteous are transformed into light, reflecting the divine principle that through hardship and perseverance, one attains true beauty. The third heaven, with Yusuf at its heart, calls on every believer to reflect on their own journey. It teaches that life is filled with trials designed to test one's faith, character, and patience. In every challenge, there is an opportunity to draw closer to Allah, to embody the qualities that He loves: patience, forgiveness, and purity of intention. The presence of Yusuf in this realm is a testament to the power of enduring with grace, choosing forgiveness over bitterness, and upholding faith even when it seems that all is lost. This heaven also reminds us of the ultimated justice of Allah. Yusuf's story, from the dark pit of a well to the throne of Egypt, demonstrates that Allah's plan is always in motion, guiding His servants through every difficulty towards a greater wisdom. The angels of the third heaven witness this divine justice, recording how the seemingly small acts of patience and faith in the face of adversity contribute to one's spiritual elevation. The third heaven, therefore, stands as a beacon of hope, assuring believers that every trial, every hardship, and every moment of steadfast faith is known, accounted for, and will be rewarded by Allah in ways beyond human comprehension. In essence, the third heaven is a place where the values of patience, purity, and forgiveness are cherished. It echoes the life of Yusuf, urging every soul to strive for inner beauty, to face life's challenges with a heart steadfast in faith, and to remember that in every test, there lies an opportunity for spiritual growth. It is a realm that invites reflection on the story of Yusuf, urging believers to emulate his qualities and to seek Allah's pleasure through resilience, sincerity, and a commitment to truth and justice. The third heaven, therefore, is not just a part of the celestial realms, but a profound reminder of the journey every soul must undertake towards the light of divine beauty and grace. The fourth heaven is a realm of light and wisdom, a place of serenity and strength that marks the halfway point in the celestial journey undertaken by the Prophet Muhammad during his miraculous night journey, Isra and Miraj. This heaven is often described in Islamic traditions as being made of silver or another shining material, radiating a kind of brightness that surpasses ordinary light. The atmosphere here is one of deep tranquility and introspection, a realm where the majesty of Allah's creation and the beauty of the divine order are both manifest in their purest forms. As the Prophet approached this heaven, accompanied by the angel Gabriel, the gates opened, revealing an expanse that was dazzling and awe-inspiring. Within the fourth heaven, the Prophet encountered the noble prophet Idris, a figure renowned for his wisdom, piety, and profound dedication to seeking knowledge. Idris is one of the few prophets about whom the Quran speaks with particular reverence. In Surah Maryam, it states, "And mention Idris in the book. Indeed, he was a man of truth and a prophet, and we raised him to a high station." Surah Maryam 56-57. This elevation of Idris is not merely physical, but spiritual, representing his status as one who devoted his life to learning and worship. His presence in the fourth heaven serves as a testament to the importance of knowledge, wisdom, and the pursuit of truth in the eyes of Allah. Idris was a prophet known for his exceptional wisdom and for being among the earliest humans to write with a pen. Islamic tradition holds that he was given knowledge of various sciences, including astronomy and mathematics, and he used this knowledge to guide his people and draw them closer to an understanding of the universe as a sign of Allah's greatness. His life exemplified a harmony between intellectual pursuit and spiritual devotion, demonstrating that the acquisition of knowledge is, in itself, an act of worship when done with the right intention. In the fourth heaven, Idris embodies these ideals, serving as an example for those who seek to balance their intellectual growth with their spiritual journey. The fourth heaven is filled with angels who are engaged in duties related to the guidance and protection of knowledge. These angels have a deep connection with the deeds of humans that involve learning, teaching, and the pursuit of wisdom. They observe how individuals seek knowledge, the intentions behind their pursuit, and how they use it to benefit others. In Islam, knowledge is regarded as a sacred trust, a gift from Allah that comes with great responsibility. The Quran emphasizes this when it says, "Say, are those who know equal to those who do not know? Only those who have understanding will take heed." Surah Az-Zumar 9. The fourth heaven reflects this principle, serving as a reminder that true knowledge is not just about acquiring information, but about cultivating understanding and using it in the service of the divine. As the Prophet Muhammad met Idris in this heaven, he would have been reminded of the timeless value of wisdom. Idris, who was raised to a high station by Allah, symbolizes the honor bestowed upon those who seek knowledge for the sake of Allah and use it to lead others towards the truth. This encounter emphasizes that the pursuit of knowledge is not merely an intellectual endeavor, but a spiritual one that elevates the soul and brings it closer to the Creator. The fourth heaven, with its radiant light and serene atmosphere, embodies the enlightenment that comes from true understanding and the peace that knowledge, when coupled with faith, can bring to the heart. The angels of the fourth heaven are entrusted with the care of deeds related to intellectual and spiritual pursuits. They record the efforts of those who strive to learn, not for worldly gain or recognition, but for the purpose of understanding the signs of Allah scattered throughout creation. In Surah Al-Imran, the Quran speaks to the importance of reflecting on these signs. Indeed, in the creation of the heavens and the earth, and the alternation of the night and the day, are signs for those of understanding, who remember Allah while standing or sitting or lying on their sides, and give thought to the creation of the heavens and the earth. Surah Al-Imran 190-191. This reflection is at the heart of the fourth heaven, where the knowledge gained through study and contemplation is seen as a path to divine wisdom. In this heaven, the focus is not on the mere accumulation of facts, but on the quality of understanding and how it transforms the soul. Idris's presence here underscores the idea that knowledge, when pursued with sincerity and a desire to grow closer to Allah, becomes a means of spiritual ascent. It elevates the individual, refining their character and deepening their awareness of the divine reality that permeates all things. The fourth heaven serves as a reminder that every piece of knowledge is a gift from Allah, and it carries the potential to illuminate the heart if sought and applied with the right intentions. Idris's life also exemplifies the virtue of patience in seeking knowledge. In a world where quick answers and immediate results are often prized, the story of Idris teaches that true wisdom requires time, effort, and perseverance. The fourth heaven, in its calm and luminous state, reflects the tranquility that comes from patiently striving for understanding. It is a realm that acknowledges the struggles faced by those who devote themselves to learning, recognizing their dedication as a form of worship. The angels here witness the silent efforts, the late nights spent in study, and the sacrifices made in the pursuit of truth, recording these deeds with care and reverence. The fourth heaven's brilliance also mirrors the enlightenment that knowledge brings. Just as light dispels darkness, so does wisdom remove ignorance, leading to a clearer vision of the divine purpose in creation. The presence of Idris, a prophet who combined scientific knowledge with deep faith, reinforces the Islamic view that there is no conflict between religion and science. Instead, they are two paths that, when followed correctly, lead to the same destination, a greater appreciation of the Creator's magnificence. The Quran frequently calls upon believers to observe the natural world and reflect on its signs as a means of understanding Allah's attributes. In this sense, the fourth heaven stands as a realm of reflection and intellectual clarity, where the pursuit of knowledge is not an end in itself, but a means of drawing nearer to the divine. The peace and harmony of the fourth heaven are also linked to the way knowledge, when applied with wisdom, can create order and balance in both individual lives and society. Idris's role as a prophet who taught his people and guided them towards a just way of living illustrates that knowledge is most valuable when it leads to positive change and ethical conduct. In this realm, the angels not only observe the acquisition of knowledge but also its application. They record how individuals use their understanding to benefit others, to act with justice, and to uphold the principles of Islam. The fourth heaven thus serves as a reminder that the ultimate goal of learning is not mere intellectual achievement, but the cultivation of virtues such as honesty, compassion, and integrity. As the Prophet Muhammad continued his journey through the fourth heaven, he would have absorbed the lessons embodied in the life of Idris and the serene environment around him. This heaven, filled with light and knowledge, speaks to the importance of pursuing learning with the intention of benefiting oneself and others. It emphasizes that true enlightenment comes not from hoarding information, but from allowing knowledge to transform one's character and actions in accordance with divine guidance. The fourth heaven also reminds us of the reward awaiting those who dedicate themselves to understanding the world as a means of understanding their Creator. Idris was elevated to this high station, not because of his knowledge alone, but because of how he used that knowledge to live a life of truth, justice, and devotion to Allah. The Quran praises those who are firmly grounded in knowledge, Surah Al-Imran 7, highlighting that the pursuit of understanding is a noble path that leads to spiritual elevation. In the fourth heaven, this principle is brought to life, showcasing the honor and dignity that come with seeking knowledge for the sake of Allah. In essence, the fourth heaven is a place where the values of wisdom, patience, and intellectual pursuit are upheld. It calls on every believer to reflect on their approach to knowledge, whether they seek it to satisfy their curiosity, to gain status, or to deepen their understanding of Allah and His creation. It reminds us that the pursuit of knowledge is, at its core, a journey towards spiritual enlightenment. In this realm, the presence of Idris serves as a beacon, guiding those who strive for understanding to do so with humility, sincerity, and the intention of growing closer to their Creator. The fourth heaven, therefore, is not just a celestial layer, but a reminder of the transformative power of knowledge and the peace that comes from aligning one's intellect with the pursuit of divine wisdom. The fifth heaven is a realm filled with a unique kind of light and power, and it plays an important role in the spiritual journey that the Prophet Muhammad experienced during his miraculous night journey, the Isra and Miraj. This layer of the heavens is often described as being made of gold, shimmering with a brilliance that reflects the purity and nobility of its inhabitants. As the Prophet and the angel Gabriel ascended to this heaven, they approached its gates, which were guarded by angels who maintained the sanctity of this divine space. Upon entering, the Prophet witnessed an environment marked by tranquility, majesty, and a sense of divine justice that permeated every corner of this celestial realm. The fifth heaven is particularly significant because it is the place where the Prophet Muhammad met Prophet Harun, Aaron. Harun is known in Islamic tradition as a prophet of great stature, the brother of Prophet Musa, Moses, and a man who was blessed with eloquence and a gentle nature. His role in guiding the Israelites alongside Musa was critical, and he provided comfort and support during times of hardship. The Quran highlights his qualities in several places, including when Allah appointed him as Musa's helper. And we gave him out of our mercy his brother Aaron as a prophet. Surah Maryam 53. In this verse, Harun's prophethood is directly linked to Allah's mercy, underscoring his compassionate character and the role he played in conveying divine guidance. Harun's presence in the fifth heaven is a reflection of the values he embodied during his life: mercy, patience, and leadership. He was a prophet who knew how to speak to his people with wisdom and understanding, addressing their hearts in a way that brought them back to the truth. The fifth heaven, with its golden radiance, represents the inner strength and grace needed to guide others through times of turmoil and to stand firm in the face of challenges. Harun's inclusion in this heavenly realm serves as a reminder that true leadership in Islam is not about authority or power, but about service, compassion, and steadfastness in upholding justice. In this heaven, the Prophet Muhammad observed the myriad angels who inhabit this realm. These angels are charged with overseeing the deeds of human beings related to leadership, justice, and the treatment of others. They record how individuals use the influence and power they possess, whether they use it to promote justice, to help those in need, or to oppress and exploit. The Quran emphasizes the importance of justice in many verses, including, "O you who have believed, be persistently standing firm in justice, witnesses for Allah, even if it be against yourselves or your parents and relatives." Surah An-Nisa 135. This principle resonates deeply in the fifth heaven, where the angels are constantly engaged in the evaluation of human actions that pertain to moral integrity and the fair treatment of others. Harun's story is a testament to the challenges of leadership. Alongside Musa, he confronted the mighty Pharaoh, called for the liberation of the oppressed Israelites, and navigated the complexities of leading a people who often wavered in their faith. His role as a leader was not easy. He had to balance firmness with compassion, always striving to guide his community towards righteousness. One of the most poignant moments in Harun's life, as narrated in the Quran, is when he was left in charge of the Israelites while Musa went up Mount Sinai to receive the commandments from Allah. During Musa's absence, the people turned to idol worship, fashioning a calf out of gold. When Musa returned and found them worshiping the calf, he was furious. In this difficult situation, Harun explained, "O son of my mother, do not seize me by my beard or by my head. Indeed, I feared that you would say, 'You caused division among the children of Israel and did not observe my word.'" Surah Taha 94. This moment illustrates the delicate balance Harun maintained between his duty to uphold faith and his concern for his people's unity. The fifth heaven, therefore, serves as a reflection of these qualities of patience and wisdom in leadership. It embodies the virtues needed to guide others: compassion, humility, and a deep understanding of human nature. Harun's story reminds us that leadership in Islam is a heavy responsibility, one that requires a heart full of empathy and a steadfast commitment to justice. In this realm, The angels record the efforts of those who hold positions of power, observing whether they exercise their authority with fairness, mercy, and a concern for the well-being of those under their care. As the Prophet Muhammad moved through this heaven, he would have sensed the deep tranquility that comes from knowing one has fulfilled their duties with integrity and sincerity. The light of this heaven, often described as golden, mirrors the inner purity of those who have lived lives of righteousness. It suggests that the true value of a leader is not in their status or wealth, but in their ability to guide, protect, and nurture their community with a heart that is aligned with divine principles. This heaven serves as a reminder that the reward for such leadership is not necessarily found in this world, but in the pleasure of Allah and the eternal peace that follows. The fifth heaven is also filled with the constant praises of the angels, glorifying Allah and reflecting His justice and mercy. This environment speaks to the harmony that comes from living a life devoted to truth and service. The presence of Harun in this realm reinforces the idea that leadership is a form of worship when it is carried out in accordance with Allah's commands. It is a means of drawing closer to Allah through the act of caring for His creation, guiding them towards righteousness and standing firm in the face of falsehood. The angels in this heaven are deeply connected to the notion of moral accountability. They document how individuals interact with those around them, particularly those who hold positions of influence. The Quran frequently emphasizes that every soul will be held accountable for its actions, including how power and authority are used. In Surah Al-Ma'idah it states, "O you who have believed, be persistently standing firm for Allah, witnesses in justice, and do not let the hatred of a people prevent you from being just. Be just. That is nearer to righteousness." Surah Al-Ma'idah 8. This verse captures the essence of what the fifth heaven represents: a realm where justice, fairness, and the proper use of influence are of utmost importance. Harun's life exemplifies these qualities of justice and steadfastness. Despite the challenges he faced, he remained committed to his duty as a prophet and leader. He spoke with a gentle tongue and acted with a kind heart, embodying the qualities of a true servant of Allah. The fifth heaven, in all its radiance, serves as a reminder to those on earth of the eternal value of living a life rooted in integrity and the pursuit of justice. It calls on every individual, especially those in positions of leadership, to reflect on their actions and strive to be fair, merciful, and compassionate in their dealings. The peace that permeates this heaven is a reflection of the harmony that results from righteous leadership. It is a place where the efforts of those who have devoted themselves to guiding others with wisdom and compassion are recognized and honored. The golden light of this heaven signifies the purity and nobility of hearts that have remained steadfast in upholding the truth, even in the face of adversity. It suggests that true success lies not in worldly achievements or accolades, but in the sincere fulfillment of one's responsibilities towards Allah and His creation. As the Prophet Muhammad continued his journey beyond the fifth heaven, he would have carried with him the lessons embodied in the life of Harun. The qualities of patience, humility, and justice that Harun represented serve as a timeless guide for all believers. This heaven, with its inhabitants and its divine light, reminds us that every act of leadership, every decision made with the intention of upholding justice, and every effort to care for others is known and recorded by the angels. It reassures us that Allah's justice is perfect, and that those who strive to lead with sincerity will find their reward in the hereafter. The fifth heaven, therefore, is not merely a layer in the celestial realms. It is a reminder of the divine principles that should guide every aspect of our lives. It teaches that power and influence are not ends in themselves, but are tools entrusted to us by Allah, to be used in the service of justice, mercy, and compassion. In this heaven, Harun stands as a beacon of these virtues, calling on every soul to reflect on their actions, purify their intentions, and strive to lead lives that align with the divine will. It is a realm that speaks of the peace and harmony that await those who have devoted themselves to living a life of righteousness and truth, fulfilling their duties with a heart full of faith and a spirit of unwavering justice. The sixth heaven is a realm of immense spiritual significance and profound majesty. When the Prophet Muhammad ascended to this level during his miraculous night journey, the Isra and Miraj, he encountered an environment that was filled with awe-inspiring light and wisdom. This heaven is often described in Islamic tradition as having a beauty that emanates an almost otherworldly presence. As the Prophet and the angel Gabriel approached the gates of this heavenly domain, they were met by its guardian angels who maintained the sanctity and order of this exalted space. Upon entering, the Prophet witnessed a realm that resonated with peace, harmony, and the serene authority of divine justice. It was in this sixth heaven that the Prophet Muhammad met one of the most significant prophets in Islamic history, Prophet Musa, Moses. Musa's presence here is deeply symbolic, representing the qualities of strength, justice, and unyielding dedication to the mission of guiding his people to the truth. His life, as described in the Quran, is filled with trials, confrontations, and immense responsibilities. He was chosen by Allah to lead the Israelites out of the tyranny of Pharaoh, to deliver them from oppression, and to bring them to a land where they could worship Allah freely. His encounter with the Prophet Muhammad in this heaven is laden with spiritual meaning, highlighting the continuity of the prophetic mission and the universal call to righteousness. The Quran narrates many aspects of Musa's life, emphasizing his role as a lawyer and a beacon of justice. He faced numerous challenges, from standing up to Pharaoh's tyranny to guiding his often stubborn and rebellious people. His story is not only a tale of struggle, but also one of immense perseverance and courage. When the Prophet Muhammad met Musa in this heaven, Musa greeted him with warmth, acknowledging him as a brother in prophethood, and as the final messenger who would complete the message of guidance that had been delivered by all previous prophets. This encounter underscores the respect and unity among the prophets, each of whom carried forward the same essential message, the oneness of Allah and the importance of living a life of justice, mercy, and piety. The sixth heaven is populated by angels who are tasked with overseeing the deeds of human beings that involve the pursuit of justice, endurance in the face of trials, and the strength to uphold the truth. The atmosphere of this heaven resonates with a sense of divine order and authority. It is a realm where the values embodied by Musa are reflected in every aspect, from the way the angels record human actions to the light that fills the space. Musa's life serves as a powerful example of what it means to stand firm in the face of oppression, to speak truth to power, and to lead others on the path of righteousness. The Quran captures Musa's strength and resolve in numerous verses, including when Allah commands him to confront Pharaoh. Go to Pharaoh, indeed he has transgressed, but speak to him with gentle speech that perhaps he may be reminded or fear. Allah. Surah Taha 43-44. These verses highlight the balance of firmness and compassion that Musa maintained throughout his mission, qualities that are celebrated in the sixth heaven. In this realm, the Prophet Muhammad would have felt the weight of the legacy left by Musa. Musa was not just a leader, he was a liberator, a teacher, and a man who communicated directly with Allah. His story, from the moment he was saved as an infant to his eventual confrontation with Pharaoh and beyond, is a testament to the power of faith and the importance of steadfastness in carrying out the divine mandate. The sixth heaven, with its brilliance and authority, mirrors the strength and fortitude of Musa's mission. It stands as a realm where justice is not merely a concept, but a living, active force that guides the actions of the angels and the evaluation of human deeds. The angels of the sixth heaven have a specific connection to the qualities of patience, endurance, and the struggle for truth. They record the actions of individuals who face oppression, who stand up against injustice, and who endure hardships with faith and perseverance. The Quran emphasizes the virtue of patience and resilience in several places, including, O you who have believed, seek help through patience and prayer. Indeed, Allah is with the patient. Surah Al-Baqarah 153. This principle is at the heart of the sixth heaven, where the deeds of those who remain steadfast in their commitment to justice are honored and elevated. Musa's presence in this heaven also serves as a reminder of the trials faced by those who are called to guide others. His mission was fraught with challenges, including the resistance of Pharaoh, the disobedience of his own people, and the long journey through the desert. Yet, through it all, Musa demonstrated a profound reliance on Allah's guidance and mercy. In Surah Al-A'raf, the Quran recounts how Musa turned to Allah in times of difficulty. Moses said, "My Lord, expand for me my breast with assurance, and ease for me my task, and untie the knot from my tongue, that they may understand my speech." Surah Al-A'raf 25-27. This supplication reveals the depth of Musa's trust in Allah, his awareness of his limitations, and his reliance on divine support in fulfilling his mission. The sixth heaven, therefore, serves as a place where the virtues of patience, humility, and courage are celebrated. It is a realm that acknowledges the struggles faced by those who pursue justice and truth, recording their efforts and sacrifices with care. The angels in this heaven are witnesses to the challenges of human existence, especially for those who, like Musa, are entrusted with the responsibility of guiding others. They observe how individuals respond to the trials of life, whether they remain steadfast, seek Allah's help, and act with integrity, or whether they succumb to fear, injustice, or despair. In this heaven, the light is said to be bright and powerful, reflecting the purity and strength of those who have lived lives of righteousness. Musa's presence here is a testament to the power of faith and the honor that comes with upholding the truth in the face of opposition. His story reminds every believer that the path to righteousness is often filled with obstacles, but it is through these trials that one's character is refined and one's faith is deepened. The sixth heaven, therefore, serves as a beacon of hope, showing that even the most difficult journey is known, understood, and rewarded by Allah. As the Prophet Muhammad continued his journey through the sixth heaven, he would have absorbed the lessons embodied in the life of Musa. Musa's dedication to his mission, his patience with his people, and his courage in confronting tyranny serve as enduring examples for all who strive to walk the path of righteousness. This heaven, with its light and its inhabitants, reminds believers that justice is a divine mandate, and that standing up for what is right, even when it is difficult, is a form of worship that is deeply valued in the eyes of Allah. The sixth heaven also underscores the importance of seeking knowledge and understanding as tools for guiding others. Musa was known for his wisdom and his direct communication with Allah, which allowed him to lead his people with insight and compassion. The Quran often highlights the importance of knowledge in the pursuit of truth, stating, "Indeed, it is only those who have knowledge among his servants that fear Allah." Surah Fatir 28. In the sixth heaven, this principle is brought to life, as the angels record not just the outward actions of individuals, but the intentions, understanding, and sincerity behind them. This realm calls on every soul to reflect on their own journey, to consider how they respond to life's challenges, and to strive for justice in all aspects of their lives. It teaches that the pursuit of justice is not just an external act, but an internal process of aligning one's heart and mind with the will of Allah. The peace and authority of the sixth heaven emanate from the harmony that comes with living a life of righteousness, embodying the qualities of courage, patience, and faith that Musa so exemplified. The sixth heaven, therefore, stands as a powerful reminder of the divine support that accompanies those who stand for truth and justice. It assures believers that every struggle, every act of patience, and every effort to guide others is known, appreciated, and recorded by the angels. It is a realm that reflects the beauty of a life lived in steadfastness and trust in Allah, calling every soul to strive for the qualities of strength, humility, and unwavering dedication to the path of righteousness. In this way, the sixth heaven is not just a place in the celestial realms. It is a living lesson in faith, justice, and the transformative power of divine guidance. The seventh heaven is the pinnacle of the celestial realms, a place of unimaginable beauty and grandeur that signifies the highest level of spiritual attainment in Islamic tradition. When the Prophet Muhammad ascended through the heavens during the miraculous journey of Isra and Mi'raj, reaching the seventh heaven was a moment of profound significance. It is often described as a realm of dazzling gemstones, where light radiates with a purity and intensity that surpasses all human understanding. This heaven is considered the closest to the divine presence, a sacred space filled with the reflections of Allah's majesty and power. As the Prophet approached the gates of this lofty realm, he was greeted by its guardian angels, who permitted him entry into a space that embodies the essence of divine wisdom and tranquility. In the seventh heaven, the Prophet Muhammad encountered the great patriarch of monotheism, Prophet Abraham. Ibrahim is one of the most revered figures in Islam, known as the friend of Allah, Khalilullah, and a model of unwavering faith and submission. His life, as recounted in the Quran, was marked by his complete trust in Allah, his rejection of idolatry, and his willingness to sacrifice everything, including his own son, for the sake of Allah's command. The seventh heaven reflects the spiritual stature of Ibrahim, a realm of purity, strength, and deep devotion, echoing the qualities that defined his life. The Quran honors him in many places, stating, "Indeed, Abraham was a leader, devoutly obedient to Allah, inclining towards truth, and he was not of those who associate others with Allah." Surah An-Nahl 120. This verse encapsulates the essence of Ibrahim's character, making his presence in the seventh heaven a profound symbol of submission and faith. The seventh heaven is not merely a place of beauty. It is also where the ultimate signs of Allah's creation and order are most apparent. It is here that the Prophet Muhammad witnessed the grandeur of Baitul Ma'mur, the much-frequented house. This celestial sanctuary is situated directly above the Kaaba on earth and is continuously circumambulated by angels, mirroring the tawaf performed by Muslims around the Kaaba during Hajj. Baitul Ma'mur serves as a reminder that the worship of Allah is an eternal act, transcending both time and space. The Quran alludes to this heavenly structure in Surah At-Tur, and by the house frequented, Surah At-Tur 4. This brief yet powerful reference highlights the sanctity of this heavenly abode, a place that signifies the unbroken cycle of devotion that the angels, and by extension, all of creation, owe to their Creator. Meeting Ibrahim in this heaven holds profound meaning. He sits with his back against Baitul Ma'mur, observing the endless procession of angels who pass by in worship. This image conveys a sense of peace and fulfillment, a reward for his lifetime of unwavering faith. Ibrahim's presence here reflects his status as the father of many nations and as a figure who embodies absolute submission to Allah's will. His life was marked by trials that tested the very core of his faith, from being thrown into a blazing fire for rejecting idol worship to his willingness to sacrifice his beloved son, Ismail, upon Allah's command. The seventh heaven embodies the culmination of these sacrifices, representing the spiritual elevation that comes to those who fully surrender to Allah. The light of the seventh heaven is said to be unlike any other, a brilliance that emanates not just from its physical splendor, but from the purity of faith and the deep tranquility that resides here. The angels who inhabit this realm are engaged in constant worship, glorifying Allah and upholding the divine order. They record the deeds related to acts of submission, devotion, and the ultimate tests of faith. This heaven, therefore, serves as a reminder of the supreme importance of surrendering one's will to Allah and trusting in His wisdom, even when the path is difficult and the sacrifices are great. Ibrahim's life is a powerful narrative of submission. One of the most significant moments of his journey is recounted in the Quran, where he receives the command to sacrifice his son. It says, "Then when they had both submitted their wills, and he had laid him prostrate on his forehead, we called out to him, 'O Abraham, you have fulfilled the vision. Indeed, we thus reward the doers of good. This was a clear trial. Surah As-Safat 103-106. This passage captures the essence of Ibrahim's faith, a willingness to obey Allah's command without hesitation, trusting in His wisdom and mercy. It is this absolute submission that the seventh heaven embodies, reflecting a spiritual state of peace and fulfillment that comes only from complete reliance on the Creator. The seventh heaven also holds significance as the realm closest to Sidratul Muntaha, the lote tree of the utmost boundary. This tree marks the boundary beyond which no created being may pass, representing the limit of human knowledge and understanding. The Quran describes this sacred tree in Surah An-Najm. At the lote tree of the utmost boundary, near it is the garden of refuge. When there covered the lote tree, that which covered it. The sight of the Prophet did not swerve, nor did it transgress its limit. He certainly saw of the greatest signs of his Lord. Surah An-Najm 14:18. The Prophet's experience near Sidratul Muntaha signifies the profound mysteries of the divine that are beyond human comprehension, highlighting the ultimate closeness to Allah that the seventh heaven represents. In this realm, the peace and stillness are palpable, suggesting a state of spiritual fulfillment that comes from aligning one's entire existence with the will of Allah. Ibrahim's presence serves as a reminder of the journey every believer must undertake. The journey of purification, sacrifice, and submission. His willingness to leave behind his homeland, to stand alone against the falsehood of his time, and to trust in Allah's promise even when it defied logic, are all qualities that the seventh heaven upholds as the highest forms of worship. The seventh heaven also serves as a space where the essence of divine justice and mercy is manifest. The angels here record the deeds of human beings, especially those acts that involve the ultimate tests of faith and the choices made in the face of trials. The Quran states, "Whoever submits his face to Allah while being a doer of good, then he has grasped the most trustworthy handhold." Surah Luqman 22. This submission is precisely what the seventh heaven represents, a realm where the deeds of those who have completely surrendered to Allah's will are elevated and honored. The presence of Ibrahim in this realm calls on every soul to reflect on the depth of their own faith and willingness to submit to Allah's commands. His story is not just a tale of past events, but an ongoing call to each believer to examine their own lives, to consider what they are willing to sacrifice in the pursuit of divine pleasure, and to trust in the wisdom of Allah, even when it is beyond their understanding. The light of the seventh heaven, with its clarity and brilliance, serves as a guide, illuminating the path for those who seek to embody the spirit of true submission. The angels in this realm are witnesses to the sincerity of human beings. They observe the intentions behind every act of worship, every sacrifice, and every step taken in the path of righteousness. They document the struggles, the moments of hesitation, and the eventual triumphs of faith, ensuring that nothing is forgotten or overlooked. In the seventh heaven, it becomes clear that every act of obedience, no matter how small, is known and cherished by Allah. As the Prophet Muhammad continued his journey through the seventh heaven, he would have absorbed the profound lessons embodied in the life of Ibrahim. This heaven, with its purity, light, and peace, reflects the spiritual state of those who have reached the highest level of devotion and submission. It is a realm that reminds believers of the ultimate goal of their faith, to reach a state of tranquility that comes from being in complete harmony with the will of the Creator. The seventh heaven also holds the promise of paradise, the final abode for the righteous. It is a place where the journey of striving, struggling, and sacrificing culminates in eternal peace and joy. The proximity of this heaven to the divine presence signifies the reward for those who have lived their lives in sincere worship, embodying the values of faith, humility, and love for Allah. It is a realm that calls every soul to aim for the highest, to purify their intentions, and to seek the pleasure of Allah above all else. In essence, the seventh heaven is a place of culmination, where the highest virtues of faith and submission are recognized and celebrated. It is a realm where the prophet Ibrahim stands as a beacon, guiding those who aspire to walk the path of unwavering trust in Allah. The light of this heaven shines upon every believer, reminding them of the potential for spiritual elevation that lies within every act of devotion. It is a place that speaks of the beauty and peace that await those who fully surrender to the divine will, showing that the journey towards Allah is one that leads to the utmost boundary, where only the light of faith can guide one forward. The seven heavens were traversed by the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, during the miraculous journey known as Isra and Miraj. This journey, narrated in the Quran and Hadith, symbolizes the spiritual elevation and the intimate bond between the Creator and his beloved Prophet. At the Sidratul Muntaha, the Prophet experienced sights and knowledge beyond human comprehension, reinforcing the belief in the unseen and the mysteries of the divine. The journey of Isra and Miraj is one of the most miraculous and profound events in Islamic history, filled with countless lessons, signs, and divine wisdom. It was a journey like no other, one that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, experienced both physically and spiritually, showing the connection between the heavens and the earthly realm. This journey is a reminder of the limitless power of Allah and the honor bestowed upon the Prophet as the final messenger. The journey begins in a single, miraculous night. The first part, known as Isra, took the Prophet from Masjid al-Haram in Mecca to Masjid al-Aqsa in Jerusalem. It is said that this journey took place upon the back of Burak, a heavenly creature known for its incredible speed. When they arrived at Masjid al-Aqsa, the Prophet was greeted by an assembly of prophets, including Ibrahim, Musa, and Isa, peace be upon them all, where he led them in prayer. This gathering signified the unity of all the Prophet's messages, the call to the worship of one true God. Imagine the profound nature of that moment, the final Prophet leading a congregation of the greatest men who walked the earth before him, all standing together in worship. But that was only the beginning. The second part of the journey, the Miraj, was an ascension through the seven heavens, starting from the worldly sky and reaching the highest realms. The Prophet ascended with the angel Gabriel, passing through each layer of heaven, where he encountered various prophets who welcomed him and conveyed messages of peace. In the first heaven, he met Adam, the father of humankind, who represented the origin of the human story. In the second heaven, he met Isa, Jesus, and Yahya, John, symbols of purity and steadfastness in faith. As he ascended further, he encountered other prophets, each layer revealing a different aspect of the divine order and the spiritual journey of humanity. The Prophet's journey through the heavens was filled with marvels, such as the vision of Baitul Mamur, a heavenly house above the Kaaba, circumambulated by angels in worship, reflecting the worship of Muslims on earth. He also saw the Sidratul Muntaha, the Lote tree of the utmost boundary, which marked the end of creation's reach and the start of the divine mystery that no being could cross. It was here, in this most sacred and mysterious place, that the Prophet received one of the greatest gifts to the Muslim Ummah, the 5 daily prayers. Initially, 50 prayers were prescribed, but through the Prophet's intercession and advice from Musa, the number was mercifully reduced to 5, yet their reward would be equivalent to 50. The journey was not just a tour of the heavenly realms, it was a direct encounter with the divine. The Prophet was brought into the presence of Allah, an experience so profound that words cannot capture its essence. It was a moment that affirmed the Prophet's role as the final messenger and emphasized the importance of prayer as a means of connecting with the Creator. This journey of Isra and Miraj is full of meanings and lessons for us. It demonstrates the importance of spiritual elevation, the power of faith, and the blessings of obedience to Allah. It teaches us that the path to divine proximity requires both inner and outer submission, as exemplified by the Prophet's experiences. It also reminds us of the significance of Masjid al-Aqsa as a holy site and the connection between the Prophet's messages throughout history. Now, I know this journey holds even more detailed events, encounters, and insights, which we'll explore in depth in the next video. We'll dive into what the Prophet witnessed in each heaven, the significance of his conversations with the prophets, and the extraordinary sights that were revealed to him. We'll also discuss how this journey continues to shape our daily lives as Muslims, guiding our worship and strengthening our faith. So make sure to stay tuned as we unravel these mysteries and draw inspiration from one of the most miraculous nights in the history of Islam. And that, dear friends, is a glimpse into the seven heavens as described in our beautiful faith. From the stars of the first heaven that light up our nights to the grand presence of Prophet Ibrahim in the seventh, we see the incredible design of Allah's creation and the profound messages each layer carries for us. The heavens remind us of our purpose, our potential, and the divine order in everything around us. If you felt inspired by this journey through the heavens, don't forget to share this video with your family and friends so we can all be reminded of the greatness of Allah's creation. And, of course, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss out on more soul-enriching content like this. Until next time, may Allah bless you, protect you, and guide you always. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.